All right, welcome everybody. Mic check. How's everybody doing this evening? I certainly am doing. I'm tired. Big shout out to Lincoln Clay. We possibly struck a deal and be making an announcement about that hopefully the next day or two, and about what we're working on here. First step on something. I'm gonna officially ask him to bring back the Wakanda Forever podcast, and gonna bring that back hopefully. Want to make an official announcement, but see how it goes. Everybody's busy. All right, so I got done watching State of Play literally like 3 minutes ago, and I'm gonna give you my just initial reaction. And I'll sleep on it and maybe talk about it again a little bit tomorrow. I gave this show a 9 out of 10. To me, there were a bunch of surprises there. There were things there that I did not expect. I'll go ahead and let's put it up on the screen here if I can get my brain to work correctly now. So how is everybody doing? Because I have pulled it. Right. First of all, how is everybody doing? Really hope you all enjoy State of Play. Please go ahead and vote. If you all just put a letter. If you think it was put an A, B, C, or D, or an F in the chat. If you watch State of Play, and then what did you all think about it? You give it an A? Do you give it a B? You give it a C? I'm telling you right now, it was an A- for me. All they had to do was announce one more game. Had they announced one more game, I would have probably been like, yeah, this is gonna go down as one of the arguably the best State of Play I think Sony ever had. But we'll go ahead and go over it here. Please go ahead and vote. Were you surprised about anything? Did anything kind of blow you all away? Shout out to everybody that's here. Brandon Johnson, CRU Royalty, how you doing? Antonio, how are you all doing tonight? Antonio gives it an A. Shout out to him. Yeah, I'm giving it an A as well. I mean, A-, B+, whatever you want to call it. So, but we'll go over what they showed. I thoroughly was surprised by it. I did not expect to get what we got. I thought we would see like Hogwarts. I thought they would show. I thought Final Fantasy 16 being shown would be there, but the VR stuff is what really got me. But we'll start off. These are in order, I guess, that we saw them. So it says, surprise, Resident Evil 4 remake is real and coming in 2023. This was just a rumor. Now it's confirmed. And so they opened with this game. Again, Sony opened with this. So they came out swinging. Again, all the games you saw have a Sony tie-in. Now, this is Capcom, and people are like, well, this means they didn't buy Capcom. It's like, well, why would you? You had the deal for Resident Evil 2, 3, now 4. Got Resident Evil 8. You had BioShock. I mean, Capcom is pretty much your buddy, okay? That's your go-to. That's your bottom girl. That's what I always say. That's their bottom bitch. So, but this is coming out tentatively, in 9 months. Tentatively. I think this could change, but this is huge. And but yeah, Capcom and PlayStation finally revealed Resident Evil 4 remake. It's coming to PlayStation 5 on March 24th. Now, I do think we'll see some more Resident Evil stuff at Summer Game Fest. I do think Capcom will show this. So, but this blew me away. I know BitCloud, shout out to BitCloud. He's probably jumping up and down because I do believe Resident Evil 4 is his favorite Resident Evil. And it does look like we get the same character model from Resident Evil 2. So that's interesting. That I'm interested. I've never played Resident Evil 4. I stopped after Resident Evil 3. I think I played BioShock for a little bit. But that shocked the hell out of me. That right there already, I was like, whoa. Because I got off work and just came right home and watched it. I watched these all on YouTube on my 4K TV. The game looked fantastic already looking like that. So yeah, I was thoroughly impressed. The cat game Stray is coming to PlayStation and PC in July. And this is from Annapurna Studio. And my understanding of this game, this is coming out July 19th. Somebody can correct me. But if you get PlayStation, the Plus service, if you get the mid tier and the high tier, then you get this game. You just get this game. You can download it on July 19th. So that was big. That was huge. Okay. I was like, okay, yeah, that's a reason to own this service. Okay. So again, they're adding, I'm going to have to use it. If this is just, if you want this game, let me be clear. If you want the game Stray, this gives that service value. Let me say that again. If you want to play the game Stray, you can get the service, and it does give the service more value. Okay, moving on. Another surprise update was from Insomniac. Spider-Man Remaster is coming to PC in August. Now, if you don't understand this, Spider-Man, the PS4 Spider-Man came out in 2018. The game is 4 years old. I'm surprised it took it this long. So this is the remaster, okay? And this is the one that they put out, during the launch? So Spider-Man Miles Morales will be 2 years old this fall. So this game is roughly, in August, it's 4 years old on PS4, but the remaster, I can't remember when the remaster came out. I think it's old though. Maybe it's a year or two old almost. So, but it is coming, and that's that. I mean, this game is 4 years old, and remember, Spider-Man is a PS4 game remastered for PS5. Okay, the Spider-Man game that's coming out in 2023-24. That's the new Spider-Man game. This is the old Spider-Man game, and we're getting the new Spider-Man game next year. So this is fine. So, but this coming out, that was an update from Insomniac Games. Also, a big update was from Guerrilla Games, which gave you Horizon Forbidden West. They gave you another update on Horizon Forbidden West. I don't know which one. It has like two different modes on there, but whichever mode has been having the most issues, they've apparently gone in there and fixed it. So we'll have to wait and see, because somebody's going to do something. So whether it be NX Gamer, Digital Foundry, somebody's going to do something. Shout out to both those guys, and to do something about I don't know if it was the fidelity mode that got a frame rate boost, or if it was the performance mode that got. I mean, I saw it very briefly. I'm like, oh man, it still looks great. It still looks great. But you got to remember, the performance mode is 1800p checkerboard at the 4K running at 60. So if somebody says I'm playing Forbidden West and it's 4K 60, they're not kidding. Okay, they're not kidding. They actually are, but it's checkerboard 4K. You got to remember that. Eventually, they'll get FSR 2.0 on that game on PlayStation. That's what I've been told. The other big unveil was Street Fighter 6. I know people went nuts for that. They went crazy. It was like, oh my God. I mean, so again, I'm not a big Street Fighter fan, but that game looked phenomenal, at least on my 4K TV. What did you all think about the Street Fighter? So, and apparently it's got open world exploration, and it's right now, there's no, they don't know if this game is going to Xbox or not. I'm not here to say that it won't, but I'm sure it will. But I didn't see anything at this show that said it would. Again, Summer Game Fest is open now. Today was the first day. We'll get more announcements tomorrow. And so you all definitely have to pay attention to that. Resident Evil 8 with that tall girl, or the tall woman, And everybody thinks she's tall. She's like 14 feet tall, but you got to remember her daughters. Aren't her daughters all like 6'5" or 6'7" or something like that? So, but anyway, it's getting a VR port for PS5. So, says who needs a real haunted house when you can put a fake haunted house on your face? If you own a PlayStation 5, stepping into a digital realm will be a lot easier soon. At today's State of Play showcase, Capcom revealed that its 2021 horror game, Resident Evil Village, will be available for PSVR. You know when the hardware actually becomes available. Yeah, so just get ready because I'll be getting PSVR Part 2 or 2. So, Final Fantasy 16. This was a surprise for me as well. It showed off all those Guardian forces. Says that it did show gameplay. I think that went over people's heads. They did show gameplay, and it's coming next year, roughly. I mean, I still think it'll get pushed back, but they've got a release window for that. I think it's summer. It says here, part of PlayStation 5, part of PlayStation State of Play. Square Enix showed off a gameplay trailer for the upcoming PS5 role-playing game Final Fantasy 16. While the exact release date isn't set, because again, they've got a window, the game is currently slated to come out sometime in summer 2023. Wow. I mean, this really unbelievable. So, Roller Dome, a roller drone from developers of Ollie Ollie World is coming to PlayStation and PC. Again, gotta love it. Gotta love if you like those type of games. That just look like people running around in an arena blowing themselves apart. So, all right, just beating the hell out of each other with sticks and guns. A Tunic, which I heard was Zelda, was a Zelda-esque game. That's coming out. And the big one for me was the Callisto Protocol. This one I think shocked everybody, shocked the hell out of me. And so I'm buying this. This is day one. This is day one, unless it gets delayed. But I was wanting to know what I was going to be playing in the winter time. It looks like this is it. So, and again, I do believe that Dead Space is scheduled to come out either in late January or early February. So you get them back to back. But I am excited about this. I am excited about Callisto Protocol. I am excited about Final Fantasy 16, Resident Evil 4. Day one. Day one, baby. Day one. So definitely looking into it. Yeah, I didn't care for a letter to the future, but I'm not upset with it. I did hear it had some bad development issues. Hopefully they can save it. So sounds like they are. And Eternites, love and fighting. There you go. That's more what you kids need, right? Love and fighting, love and fighting. So then they have the whole show here. So again, for me, this was the best State of Play that I can remember seeing. And that is just my opinion. All right, I want to make sure, let me get that out of the way. That is my opinion. You don't have to share that opinion. But what at the end of the day, what do you all think? Were you all shocked at these announcements? The Resident Evil 4 and Callisto Protocol announcement, that is what got me. I was like, okay, this show is off the hook already. So the announcement by Guerrilla Games with the free update, the announcement with Stray. If you get the second tier, and I think the top tier on Sony, whatever it is, the tier system they got coming out, that you get that game. You just go ahead and bam, the game is going to be there next month. I'll just be able to download that game. That's pretty cool. So, but let's see what you all were going. Brandon Johnson said it's been bananas. The State of Play was thus far he has seen. Yeah, I agree. You know, Antonio talked about the Bungie deal. Yeah, I believe the Bungie thing is finished. Bungie, I think, is in the fold, I guess you all could say. So I think that's great news. Let's see. What's going on, Peter Parker? What is going on? So it says Capcom going to scrap at least 40% of RE4 original game. They could. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. So I just know I'm excited for that game because we're getting Resident Evil 2 remastered, and this looks like they're going to bring it up to where this is. We're going to have ray tracing. We're going to have all that stuff. So I'm fairly impressed by this thing. So Sunny in VR says, "What's up, peeps? What's going on?" I said they're doing mental gymnastics. Look, look. Everybody was surprised by this state of play. That they and Sony came out pulling no punches, and yeah, I think I heard somebody say something like Sony is pretty much announcing, yeah, they're pretty much ready. I mean, they're looks like their third party partners are heavy with Square and Capcom. So I expect more announcements from Square and Capcom with them. I still think I agree with King Thrash what we did with the Spaces the other day. I agree that he was saying that he thinks they're going to buy Square. I do too. I think they're going to end up buying them. So that Capcom scrapped out 60% of the remake. Yes, I haven't played that remake because it was too damn expensive. You know, it was too damn. Even at the Christmas sale, because Sony had that big sale with Capcom. That's why I bought Resident Evil Part 2. It was only $9, like $8.99. But the other one, the Resident Evil 3, they still wanted like $39 for that. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna. You know, you can get them in a bundle. Is what they wanted you to do. You get them both for $44. Like, I ain't that big a deal. Yeah, so I'm excited for Final Fantasy 16 as well. So and again, my Final Fantasy days, I can officially say when Final Fantasy 10 came out and the way Final Fantasy 10 ended, it broke my heart. Okay, the way that game ended. Not that it ended. Let me make this clear. I wasn't mad at the ending. It was just bittersweet. But at the end of Final Fantasy 10, I was able to just kind of say, okay, my love for Final Fantasy 10 is done. You know, I still think and Final Fantasy 11 I never played. I never played 12. I don't think. Oh, I'm sorry. I got 10-2. I beat 10 and 10-2, which 10-2 did kind of reignite the engine, so to speak. But yeah. But Final Fantasy 16, yeah. The Pragmatica, I don't think we'll see anything. We might see something about that. You got to understand that it's a summer games fest. Capcom is there, so maybe we'll get more info on the VR and Resident Evil 4 and Pragmatica. We'll get some information on that. I don't disagree. That Final Fantasy 9 is perfect. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy Final Fantasy 9. Yeah, I can actually download that. You can download what 8, 9, and 10 right now. So you still waiting on a Splinter Cell announcement? Oh, that would be from Ubi. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that works out. I'm a Splinter Cell fan myself. So, like I said, that's what games did I buy? Splinter Cell is the second game I ever played and owned on Xbox. The first game I owned was Knights of the Old Republic. Then I bought Splinter Cell. Then I bought Halo. It went in that order. Then the multi-plat games came out. The Ghost Recon games started coming out. Then we got like Ghost Recon. We got, then we got this, the Grand Theft Autos came out, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm firmly in this system. But thoroughly enjoyed it. What do you all give this show? Again, I give it a 9 out of 10. I was taken aback a couple times. Like, wow, the way they opened that show and they did not pull no slight punches. We got Stray coming next month. Okay, you got that next month. If you get the tier system, if you're in the second or highest, the mid tier or the high tier, you can just download that game when it comes out. So if you're interested in that game, that is crazy. Sony ain't playing though. They came out and they swung and they hit the ball. I looked at it like they were batting lead off. So I was told Final Fantasy 16 would be there. But I didn't know nothing about Resident Evil. Nothing. Okay, I knew nothing about Resident Evil. So that's, like I said, that's got me going. And yeah, I would have loved to seen that come out before Halloween or around Halloween. But that game's coming out in what? Let's see. This is June. So June, July, August, September, October. That game comes out in a calendar year, 10 months. But again, just leave a comment or two on what you all thought. Let me give you my opinion on Spider-Man again, so you understand where I come from. Spider-Man is 4 years old. Spider-Man is a PS4 game that got remastered for PS5. Spider-Man initially launched on the PS4. It is a PS4 game that's going to PC. I have read somewhere that that game has sold over 30 to 33 million copies. So I don't have an issue with it. Again, I'm sure tomorrow you're going to have people screaming because, again, they built their podcast on the console war. So they're going to be hollering about it. They're going to be hollering about it on Saturday. I'll be at work. They'll be hollering about it on Sunday. I'll be off on Sunday. So I may podcast on Sunday morning again. But yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed. I had no problem with it. So about Spider-Man. So leave your comments on what you think about Spider-Man, which is a game that's 4 years old. And I personally beat the original version of it. Then shout out to Titanfall Princess. She bought me the 3 expansion packs. And I went back in, and when one expansion pack came out, I bought it. And then the next expansion pack came out, and I bought it. And I played it again. I mean, I didn't just start the game and then do the expansion pack. I played the whole game start to finish again. Same way I do all these games. Like when I played Mass Effect 2. When Mass Effect 2 first came out on the Xbox, the first expansion was the Zaid expansion. So again, I played that, and I played the whole game again with the expansion. So I've beaten Spider-Man 4 times on PS4, 1 time on PlayStation 5. That's with everything. Then I went ahead and played Miles Morales and beat it. And so I'm like, all right, I'm done with this. So again, great game. And I may go back in this summer and play Spider-Man Miles Morales again. I enjoyed that game. Love the character. But I'm more excited about the new Spider-Man game. I want information on the new Spider-Man game, not the old one. I played and beaten the old one. So, but that's just my opinion, though. I mean, the term you guys would use is feel some kind of way. If you all are feeling some kind of way about it, leave a comment. It's okay. I'm not going to bite your head off. I want you to know where I'm coming from. And I don't have an issue with what Sony's doing because Porter Rock, I thought the other night, did a real good job saying, here's the projection of where they think the revenue is going to be, and then here's where they want to be when the revenue gets to that point. Now, that could change. You got to understand, it's a projection. What if their projection changes? Well, then they're going to have to change. So they're still going to make the games that I like. All right, they're still going to make the games that I like to play, and that's all I can really concern myself with. I'm not a spokesperson for Sony. I believe in the consumer product, and I believe in the consumer, and I believe if you're unhappy with something, you don't purchase it. That's just call me crazy, but if you don't like it, I ain't buying it. So, I mean, personally, if I don't like something, I won't buy it. I mean, like, I won't. You know, I'll be like, I don't want it right now, or I'll wait for it to get cheaper. And that's just the way I go about my activities of daily living. So, shout out to Corey Massey. Corey Massey says he's okay with Sony putting old games on PC. Sony's only obligation to me as a gamer is to make great games. I don't disagree, Corey. I don't disagree. And I said before, Spider-Man is a PS4 game. That's literally, there's nothing for me to damage control. That's when the game came out, I had a PS4 Pro. At least, I mean, that's what I played it on. So I think it was a Pro. So yeah, was it a Pro? Yeah, I played it on the Pro. I still remember going to GameStop on was it like a Friday night? At the GameStop on a Friday night, and picked it up, or maybe it was a Wednesday night. I don't know, it was something like that. So, but I picked that game up, and I came home, and I loaded it up, and I played it for like 20 minutes. I'm like, all right, I just want to get used to swinging. And then once I got used to the swinging mechanic on it, I was good. I was happy. So I was happy. So there you go. Oh, shout out to the Hawk for the $5 dono. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate it. Again, I'm not going to argue with people if you don't like it. If you don't like old games that Sony's got going to PC, that's fine. I mean, you have the absolute right to your opinion. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm too old. But if you don't like something, but I got taught, don't like it, you don't support it, you don't buy it. That's just me. Right? I never did. I'm not big on grape bubble gum. So I don't buy grape bubble gum. But if you love grape bubble gum, that's perfectly fine. Again, for me, what were the big surprise announcements? Callisto Protocol, which if I can go reserve that tomorrow, I'll go do it. And the other one, Callisto Protocol and Resident Evil 4. For me personally, I was like, all right. And then the VR stuff, No Man's Sky, Resident Evil 8, Horizon, all those games are supposed to be ready at launch of the system, and that's great. I'm excited about that. So Corey Massey says the Legendary Edition is amazing. You still haven't made your way through ME3 though. You know what? My character from ME1 he did not carry over. My character from ME1 is from ME1, I should say. My character from ME1, he don't look like the character I'm using now. I mean, he looks similar to that guy, but it didn't completely carry over. And I also read there was a mod for the Legendary Edition to just help it carry over. So I'm like, well, I ain't gonna mod it. I'm playing it as is. I'm playing it. Yeah, I'm buying Callisto Protocol day one. So for me, those are my fall games. I mean, I'll be playing Madden, Forspoken, and Callisto Protocol. That's what I'll be playing. And I'm pretty sure Resident Evil 2 Remake, that's coming, or the upgrade they're going to do. They're going to have the ray tracing and all that kind of stuff on there. So I may go back in and play that again because I enjoyed it. I didn't like getting chased by that dude, but I enjoyed the game, especially shooting zombie cops. I mean, who don't want to kill a bunch of zombie cops, right? So good times, good times, good times. So, but that was it, people. I just wanted to touch base with you on this. I appreciate you coming through. I may do a Twitter Spaces tomorrow on the whole Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial because I watched the whole trial. Even when I was at work, when I got off work, I would come home and I would watch that trial for 2 hours before I went to bed. So, and I ended up watching the whole trial. So I may do that tomorrow. I may not. I don't know. So let's see here. Pretty sure that PlayStation is going to put the pre-order up for Callisto Protocol. Yeah, I want to see some more stuff about it. I want to see some more stuff about it next week or over the Summer Games Fest. Hopefully we get more updates. But yeah, if that game's available, I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put 5 on it. So that's my plan. I'm gonna put 5 on it. So I'm all about putting 5 on. So let's see who else is here. But what did you all think about it? I mean, I saw one score. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Antonio gave it an A. But Lavaris, what did you think about the state of play? Put a score in there. Corey, you can put a score in there if you don't mind. I'm pretty sure you enjoyed it though. But you know, and hit that like button, people. Don't be stingy. That's all we ask here is that you donate a like, and I appreciate your time. So if you're gonna give me the time, you know, gonna spend a little time with me, at least donate a like. That's all I'm asking. Anything else is welcome. I do appreciate it. So let's see here. Yeah, there's the Summer Games Fest is open. It's open. You know, so tomorrow we should get more updates on stuff. So we'll get a lot of updates on stuff. But I wanted to ask you all. Now I was at work today, and how many of you all listened to the Ash and Lucas podcast today? You know, Corey's giving it a 9 or a 9.5. Okay, yeah, like I said, I gave it a 9. That's the best show I've seen. You know, for what that show was. I mean, there's not a doubt in my mind that it wouldn't have shocked me if Sony adding it to Summer's Games Fest, that Sony got more commitments from other people. So The two indies sucked. Okay, well, that's fine too. So you're giving it a 9.5. Okay. Well, Stray is an indie. Did you not like Stray? So, but overall, most people enjoyed it. The lowest score I've seen is an 8. Like people that were talking about it that I did look at, they were like, "I'm giving this an 8. That's good." So, you thought the skateboarding game was Jet Set Radio? It did kind of remind us of that, didn't it? Kind of a throwback. So, the skating indie. Oh, the skating game. Yeah, it did kind of remind me of Jet Set Radio, but it's just a different way. Like Roller Dome. There was a movie I think in the mid '80s or late '70s. It was called Roller Derby or something like that, and it was about a violent roller dome uh, game. So the Jet Set Radio meets Max Payne. It could be what they based it on. Hmm. It could be what they based it on. So, but what did you all think about the show? That's the most important thing. I give it a 9 out of 10. Um, Jet Set of Duty, yeah. So, were you all disappointed that Call of Duty wasn't there? You know, I still think Call of Duty is going to be shown, but it's going to be shown at the Microsoft showcase. But I could be wrong. They may show it at the thing in a couple days at the Summer Gaming Fest. But you got to remember, Summer Gaming Fest is like all month long. You know, it's just kind of a we don't have E3, and so since all these developers, Jeff Keighley, again, Jeff Keighley, people made fun of him, but he's emerged. They say as one of the top 50 people you want to do business with in Hollywood. So, well, LeVar says he hate Call of Duty. Well, I understand. I did watch the I did like that clean house mission in Call of Duty. That hooked me in. That was like the third mission or something like that. You had to go in and clean that apartment building, high rise of those terrorists. I was like, oh my god, I'm loving this. I could do this the whole time. Like, let's just give me another mission like this. It's called Clean House or Safe House or something like that. I love that. So, and they actually have it on YouTube how they created that mission. They were like, it's the most realistic mission they've ever put in Call of Duty. Mm, yeah. But what did you all say? Something tells me that Sony gonna close Summer Games Fest with a first party state of play. They could. They could like bookend it. Yeah, there's a chance. There's a chance. I'm not here to say you're wrong. That's actually a good idea. Um, yeah, I can see them doing that too. It's like, hey, look, we open it, grand opening, grand closing. That would be cool. But yeah, we got first party announcements from Insomniac, from the another surprise I thought was a nice surprise was the Guerrilla Games upgrading or updating Aloy, Forbidden West. Again, shout out to Marlin Gaming Nation. I came home and I saw him already streaming that. So shout out to him for doing that. So you like Modern Warfare 2? See, to me, Modern Warfare 2 is the biggest ripoff Call of Duty of all time. But I did like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and I liked the first Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and then the remake or remaster that they just did, the prequel, I enjoyed that too. I enjoyed that as well. It turned out one of the guys that you were chasing in Modern Warfare 3 or Modern Warfare the prequel ended up being one of the guys that helped overthrow the Saudi government in the first Modern Warfare game. It was how they connected. It was pretty weird. So, but yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the book in, but I'm not gonna push that. I'm not. If Sony doesn't do that, I'm not gonna yell and scream and be mad and be pissing and moaning and go outside and smack somebody's mama because Sony's not doing what I want them to do. My score on this state of play is a 9 out of 10, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to what's coming. The Spider-Man game, I don't mind it because it's 4 years old. Have at it. It's a 4-year-old game. I want to know about the new Spider-Man that's coming out. That's what I want to know about. See what I'm saying? That's just me. That is just me personally. So, but what say you? Are you all more excited about the newer Spider-Man that's coming out next year, or are you gonna be upset and cry over the Spider-Man going to PC? The game is 4 years old. It got remastered. It's like The Last of Us Part 1. People don't understand this. That's a PS3 game. It got remastered for PS4. All right? I'm going to say that again. It got remastered for PS4. The other game that Naughty Dog did, Uncharted Lost Legacy, Uncharted 4. Those are PS4 games, right? Remastered for the PS5. Let me say that again. Those are PS4 games remastered for the PS5. All right, they aren't PS5 games. They are remake. They are remasters. Okay, that's all they did. They didn't go in and change the resolutions. They added some things. They did do that, and they took advantage of the PS5. But those games were already made. If you beat Lost Legacy on the PS4, it's the same game. You get to play it differently. I'm not here to say it doesn't have some upgrades in it, because it does. But I'm just saying, don't try not to get caught up in remasters and remakes. I enjoy Spider-Man PS4. That's what it used to be called, Spider-Man PS4. So I will enjoy Spider-Man PS5, when it comes out. When it comes out. So where Massey says he thinks that Sony is going to release Spider-Man PS4 in August. Isn't that the 4-year anniversary? I think that's the 4-year anniversary of Spider-Man PS4. I think it's an August game. And he said, you think they're going to release Miles Morales afterwards? Yeah, I think, shout out to Wario64. He said that Miles Morales is supposed to come out later in the fall. They haven't got a date on it yet. But you saw the studio that they put in front of that, didn't you? It said Nix's Studio. All right? It said September is 4 years. Okay. So the game is 4 years old when it goes PC. So, I'm just saying, they put Nix's Studio in front of the Insomniac announcement. Again, they bought Nix's Studio. They bought them to help them port their games to PC. That's what Nix's Studios is doing, because that's what Nix's Studios did before. Sony went in there and said, we want you to help us put our games that are on console onto PC. But everybody doing the console war, they just saw Sony buy a studio and they put it up. They put it up on the screen, welcome to the family and all that kind of stuff. Not doing their due diligence on what they were going to actually do. So that's on the fanboys. Again, that's just, I don't know why y'all listen to these fanboys. It's not that they're not enjoyable to listen to, but it's like you can't take them seriously, right? Please, I hope you've gotten to a point now where you're like, they're fun to listen to, but they ain't on no real shit. I hope that's where you are now. So, that Nixus is the PC port studio, Fire Sprite is the VR team. Yeah, you're right. But again, that's what their studios do. And again, I don't have an issue with what Sony's doing. But I get it. If you do, that's fine. I'm not here to argue with you. I think you're stupid. I think you got hoe in you. I think you're corny. But I ain't going to argue with it. What did Qui-Gon Jinn say to Jar Jar Binks in episode 1? The ability to speak does not make you intelligent. So I'm not going to argue with you. If you're upset at what Sony's doing, perfectly fine. Then, I would say go get something else. But they ain't got the stones to do that. So, they're just going to sit around and complain. But that's a bit all I had for you, guys. Honestly, I'm going to get on off here and lay down and rest. Watch Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 3, because I have not watched that yet. Oh, I want to give up, again, shout out to Grace Randolph. She said that said a few weeks ago that Doctor Strange, the new Doctor Strange movie, was coming to Disney Plus June 22nd, and she was right. Disney announced today that that was coming June 22nd. So if I recommend you go see it in the theater, but if you don't go see it in the theater, I understand that. It will be on Disney Plus June 22nd. So, but guys, that's all I had for you. I do appreciate you. I bid you all a honest night farewell, and I will talk to you later.